Hi, welcome to Jungla de Panama Wildlife Rescue Center. Come on in, let me show you around. This is Daisy, and she loves to cuddle. She's a spider monkey, and if you could see, she has 4 fingers, and then the 5th is on her tail right here. You can kind of see it, but she's got me wrapped so tight. She's just a little love. She is here, and she has a little a friend now. I know, I see you. You come say hi. Hi. They eat all day. They love people. They love the kindness that people give them. They had 2 different stories. Daisy's story wasn't as good as Lupita's story, but she was chained to a 3-tier concrete building where kids used to tease her all the time, because what they would do is they would throw rocks at her because they loved to hear her scream. They would go right to the end of her chain, and they would try to feed her, and she would want the food so bad, and then they would just laugh and leave her, and that would throw her into a tizzy, and she'd start screaming again, which was really painful for her. When I first got her, she would scream for 45 minutes. She would scream so hard, and it would be so painful for her to get out of it. But now, she's fine. If something happens, like if you drop a peanut or drop something, and she has a little fit because she flashes back, because they don't forget, they flash back, and then she'll scream for a second, and we go, okay, Daisy, and then she calms down, and we give her a peanut. Lupita, on the other hand, she was at a rescue center, but they decided not to continue with rescuing, and the woman that was running it had a baby. Well, the baby got to be 2 years old, and the baby was running out of the door to go right to Lupita, and the woman was so afraid that her baby would get hurt. So we brought her here, and they took a little bit for them to get accustomed to each other, because I had them in 2 separate habitats. And then once I thought that they would be okay, I opened up the habitats where they both came and went back and forth, and they ended up really being good friends. Can they go into the wild? They've been with people too long. It's too hard, because they might go to the first person that they see, which is always the best person for them. So they're here for now, and they're older. They're headed towards their 30s now, but they're very happy. They see people all day. They get their all their goodies and their treats and their food. That's so important for their diet. They're just happy. And Daisy will sit here with you. This is part of volunteering. Oh, and she'll sit here all day with you and hold you. Yes, you're very beautiful, Daisy. I know. Mom's here.
We are not a zoo. We're a rescue center. Here, the animals, we do not take them out of the wild. We try to put the animals back in the wild how much as we can. And actually, this all started out of nowhere, because my mom, she came here to retire, and she'd been working with animals her whole life. But people started to know that she started to rescue animals in the States, and there were certain people needed to come to take care of the cat, a dog, a goat, a bird. So what she started to do, she started to put them back in the wild as much as she could. And then she started to tell that they were bringing her mostly injured animals. So she got a passion with the injured animals, and we tried to rescue the animals that we can and bring them here. My mom is pretty much a superhero because she has 45 cats, only 45 cats, because we used to have a lot more. And we used to have 20 dogs, now we have 10 dogs. We try to get them adopted out as much as we can. So what we do here is we give a place where they can live, and if they want to come back to animals, they can come back. It's me, my mom, Dorothy, Dane, my brother, and Daniela, my sister. They come over here and they help, but my mom is the one that's here 24/7. She can't even go out. So we get different people for they can get food for us out because we don't have time for that. So yeah, she does a lot of work here and she's been doing it for her whole life.
My children, of course, help me. I have a woman that has been with me almost 12 years now, or since 2010, and she helps me a lot. She comes in the morning, she helps feed, she helps clean. She helps me do educational tours, bring people around. ¿Qué uñonas que tienes? My kids do a lot with helping with the maintenance, and they also help do with the educational tours. They help with the school field trips. They help with the handicapped children to do therapy. We have a lot of handicapped animals here as well, which helps them relate. They both relate to each other. I also have volunteers that come through and they help me with the odd projects. I always invite people to come from all over the world, volunteers. They can come, they can stay, they can help out in daily activities, daily projects, feeding, cleaning, or just hanging out with a monkey, holding their hand.
Oh, this is so nice.
I'll go first. Hi. Hey.
Pony really wants a banana.
Oh, he's kicking you. Pony doesn't like you.
Really, the pony
Yes,
wants a banana.
guys. Oh no! We got the
What am I
bag.
spearing?
They're supposed to be doing that.
Well, you actually kicked it on my head. I had it on my head.
You ate the banana.
Hey, I have no food here.
Dogs eat the banana.
Hello.
You want to give it to?
I had it on
Here,
my
give
head
him some.
as soon as I put
Here,
it down.
take some.
Yeah, maybe then.
Take some.
That's
You want to
okay.
feed it?
Here, Lizzie.
You want to take some?
But exchange the. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Have you got
For the
corn on your
pony.
butt?
Exchange the banana for the pony. Huh?
You want some? You want to give
Want
the
some
pony?
corn?
You want corn? Come on, it's okay. Mama. It's okay. Come on. It's okay. Okay, there you go, big boy. Good job. I know. So cute. This is People. He's very sweet. He's a blind pony. And I got a call one day, and they said, Jungla. I said, yeah. They said, do you want a blind pony? And I said, a blind pony? I said, sure. Plenty of room here for a blind pony. So I sent the truck to go get him, and I tried to get some information of, what happened, how he got out of his farm. He might have been one of the ponies that did the pony rides in Bajo Boquete, by the park area. I found the owner, got the owner to release him to me. Oh, people, I know. And he's been happy ever since. I cleared up all his wounds. I got them all fixed up nice. And he's been happy, but I don't know. They didn't want to feed him. They said he was useless. He's not useless. Even though he's blind, he's still not useless. He's wonderful. He's like a little puppy. He runs around, he rolls around, he runs around with the dogs and the goats and the chickens and has such a great time. So yeah, so we have him now, and he's just lovely. Then we have dogs. Max, his owner couldn't care for him anymore. He's deaf, and he's a little older, and he was getting really frustrated because she didn't know how to handle him because of his deafness, and he just wanted love. He's scared. He doesn't always know what's going on, so I know. So we have to be his ears and be patient. And yeah, he's turned into be a really, really nice dog. This is Strudel's. Her leg was actually in two, and they put these big pins. She had this big apparatus, and she had to have that for 2 months. Oh, what thing! Her trying to walk around with that, and I try to keep her somewhat conformed, constrained, but she'd still go and do, and that thing was so big she could get it caught, and that was a lot of work in itself. But it healed perfectly. I saw the X-rays, gorgeous. They took it off, and she's getting around nice, and apparently she's got babies because she's got milk. And so she's so far so good. And eventually I'll be able to see her babies, I hope. Fingers crossed. She trusts me enough. Once they lose your trust, it's over. Once. They just have to lose your trust once. And it's so hard to get an animal to trust you again. It really is. Like us as human beings, we'll trust. The animal world will not trust. They shut you down. When animals need medical attention, whatever I can't provide on my own, on my experiences or past experiences, to help them, then I call different vets. I have different vets that will come here and will help. Like for instance, I had someone helping me with her because of X-rays, and she had to bring them to another town in David. And of course, I don't have a car, so it's hard. I'm kind of limited here with what I can do. The buses or taxis don't always want to take an animal, so I have to, be on somebody's mercy to help me get them to medical care.
Normally people take animals out of the wild and they keep them like pets. That usually we do not like people to do that, but some people do it. Lolita, she got out of the cage, she went to the neighbor's house, and when she went to the neighbor's house, they had a lot of dogs, so they started to chase her. So when the woman saw that, she grabbed a little box and put Lolita in the box. And she called the neighbor to see if the neighbor would have her back, and the neighbor did not want nothing to do with her, because she was starting to destroy her house. So what we usually say is please do not take animals out of their wild if they're in their wild, because they can be adapted to people. So what they did, they brought them to us and we tried to release her. She left like for 3 days and she came back and she started to grab a banana and she would go back in the wild. Then she started to get more close to us and she started to hang out with us, so we started to let the people come in and touch her in the tour. So yeah, and she loves to get cuddled.
So cute. They're so cute and little.
His left eye was swollen shut and his beak was severed. And his wings were cut, so short. And then I had to actually give him treatment, like actual shots in the chest to get the eye to open, plus the eye drops and the cream and all that. And then I had some surgical glue, and I glued the beak together. And that took a lot for it to bond. And I noticed it's like a nail. It's kind of like going over, but in 2 years for his wings to grow. But You know, every time I release them, I gotta go get them. And then I think sometimes you want them in the wild, but then is it fair? Because if his beak breaks, and then what? Yeah, and he's got that depth perception too, because I have him in here, but when I put him in there, oh, he hurts himself. He hurts himself. He doesn't know where to stop, you know? Kika was up in Volcambaru. They found her on the ground. And what happened was, I didn't even know she was a kinkajou. I mean, I didn't even know what she was. Because when I first got her, I mean, she had nothing. She had scratched everything off. And we had to give her so many treatments. I had to give her shots. I had to do eye cream, skin cream. And finally, I could get something to form over the bone. Hi. How are you? What? You gonna say hi to him? Oh. What do you think?
It's cute.
We are in the macaw habitat. We have three red scallop macaws right now, which are handicapped, and they also share with a couple of ducks, a turtle, and a green Amazon parrot.
Hana.
Patron, he was brought to me by the Border Patrol from the Darien Rainforest. He's male, as you can see, because he's got the big beak. You'll see the other macaws, they have beautiful long tails. His tails were always pulled by the indigenous. See how he has all this? And it's all impacted. And they pull and pull and pull until they can't pull no more, and then they discard the bird. And that's how the Border Police have found him. And it's a shame because they're such beautiful birds and they welcome everyone. They can't fly.
Because of the feathers.
Yeah. He definitely can't fly. He can glide. Casey can't fly. She only has the one wing. And Tita, she doesn't fly. I don't know why she doesn't fly. Maybe she doesn't have her wing muscles.
So
Maybe.
They're all just going to stay here forever.
Yeah. But Casey's in, hey, ow. Casey's in her 50s. Why can't I can't talk. I can only talk to you. When I first got Patron, I had no idea. I had to ask Guy 2 or 3 times. I'm like, what? What did you just say? How are they plucking those out? That's going to be painful. He's like, I know. And that's why when I first got Patron, he was all blood from pulling. You know, he still had all the holes all open, and they were infested. Oh, it was bad. And the pain that he experienced, I couldn't even imagine. But luckily they found him. So how many are they not finding? I can't understand how many they're not finding. You know, at least Patron was found. He didn't die alone. He wasn't eaten alive. So he's safe. But I managed to heal all those wounds. And as you see, they are impacted, but hopefully they'll selectively come out. And that's all I can ask for when you look it up. And it's a big problem. And also around the world, there's so many different images, and you can see the pain of all of them just by the feathers that you know, and they're plucking them out. They're not easily, I mean, you've got to pluck them. You can't pull those out. You've got to pluck them out hard. And the pain that these poor birds must experience, it has to be beyond anything. And a lot of it's done in the Darien forest because you don't know. That forest is so hard to get into, and it's so hard to maneuver. There's so many different tribes in there, and you don't have a clue what's going on because you can't even get to them to even see. But that's why the Border Patrol goes around and he catches these things. But you know, sometimes you're too late. They don't want the bird, they discard it. They don't want it. And it takes that bird how long to die? He got no feathers, he can't protect himself, he's handicapped, or he or she is handicapped now. And it's all for either ceremonies or they sell them also. I mean, they make a good profit. They can sell $25 to $50 of one of those long feathers. They're beautiful. I see when they regrow them. You have to realize that associate with that is the pain and the blood and the death of these animals. I love you. Ow. Come on, I take you. Come on. Mama. Mommy. Come on. No, you're not going to do that. Come on. Come on, Mama. No. Come on, I take you. No. Hey, mi amor. Oh. Hi, mi amor. You gonna dance? They're very sweet. Huh? Have you heard something like that, huh? Very sweet. You're very beautiful. Look how handsome you are, Patron. It gets a little loud, but they're also very quiet, too. Say hi. Say hi, Patron. They're very sweet. People don't understand that they have a soul, they have a personality. They just use them as a product or as show.
You can tell that they're not just animals. Actually, I include humans as animals because if animals have feelings, humans have feelings. Why are they different species? They classify one species that would be human completely different from animals. So actually you can tell that they're just like us. You can, like, if you spend so much time with animals, you can get answers from them. Like when they're hungry, when they're thirsty, or when they're tired. So yeah. Hey, Nubi.
People bring me animals from everywhere. They come either from being hit by a car, monkeys or sloths that have been on wires that have gotten burnt, or transformers that have blown, from little newborn kittens that people can't care for, or animals that are in desperate need, or they're abused, handicapped. We do hospice care for people that can't care anymore for their animals. I do a lot of releases. So they bring me animals hoping that I can release back into the wild, which we do probably 99% of the time. We release back in the wild. And when you release that animal, and whatever animal that is, they always look back. Even if it's a snake, they always look back at you to say, is this for real? You know? And it's almost like they say thank you. And then they go.